doctor, I never thought that I would be putting myself in a position to be arrested.
We're just up oil. We're here with the coalition today on the march through London. Our personal part of the protest is against the 130 new fossil fuel licences that the government are issuing. We've got 8 to 10 years worth of reserves. We don't have to issue these new licences. We can use those reserves while we transition to renewables. They're up to 9 times cheaper, usually between 7 and 9 times cheaper. We want to help people save money. We need to look after the climate. If we don't act within the next 2 to 3 years, we risk reaching a tipping point, and once we get past that, the 2-degree mark, there's no way back basically. We're in a climate breakdown.
We're seeing flooding, we're seeing people losing their livelihoods across the globe. Thousands of people losing livelihoods, being displaced. We're going to see mass migration, we're going to see mass movement of populations, we're going to see mass shortages of water if we continue to use fossil fuels in the way that we have in the past.
Oil and government goes together. We want that to stop. We're choking on our pollution and our children are dying.
If people in government, they know what they're doing. It's not that they're not aware of it. It's not ignorance. It's just that they want to profit more than they want to secure a society where everyone has access to public transport, everyone has access to energy. They are more bothered about deepening their own pockets.
COP26 was just like a massive failure, there were no meaningful pledges to get under 2 degrees, and I felt like the politicians had failed, so this was the last option really.
What change do you want to see immediately? What needs to happen first?
Well, the first thing we need to do is basically commit to phasing out fossil fuels by not starting any new projects. We've got enough oil and gas to last the next 8 years, we've got a big reserve stock, so we can transition to renewables really quickly. And also we need to insulate our homes, because pound for pound that's the best bang for your buck in terms of reducing carbon emissions. And then beyond that, public transport. Get people out of their cars by providing free, reliable public transport.
I'm just going to sit down, my knees are killing me. What would you say to people who say inconveniencing people, it's not any way to persuade them?
Well, sadly, if you stand on the side of the road with a banner and you don't do anything disruptive, you get ignored. There's no way we would have been on the front page of The Guardian, on Newsnight twice, Question Time, if we hadn't disrupted the public. So whilst we don't like doing it, it's the only way to kind of provoke that conversation.
You come to these things, sell whistles a lot, or?
When there's a demonstration I agree with, I'll come and sell a few, yeah.
So you wouldn't sell at a demonstration you don't agree with?
Well, I wouldn't sell whistles at anything I didn't agree with, no.
What's wrong with this country at the moment?
I think they need to tax the big corporations more and spread the money around to stop people suffering.
Do you think it's an important cause?
Well, yeah, I think for the environment, yeah, definitely for the environment, but it's rubbing out a lot of people as well. So
there are high court judges who have acquitted people because they said it was a proportionate response to a legitimate threat. So this is much less disturbing than a football match, much less disturbing than a big Easter parade, a big New Year's parade, much less disturbing than a lot of construction works in the road, which drive people crazy. So it's what's needed. The world community recognized in 1992 that this was a calamity coming upon us. And you know what we've done since then? We have doubled the amount of carbon in the atmosphere. We've done twice as much damage as we've done up to that point in history.
Fossil fuels need to be burned. We need as much carbon dioxide. That's what I think.
I'm sorry to hear someone give an opinion like that. It just seems like trying to be dramatic. I feel sorry for him because he's younger than me. He's going to suffer more than I am. Thousands of children are dying in Somalia because of what we've put in the atmosphere, what we have done. That's shameful. People should be begging for forgiveness. And yet instead we have a government which is determined to make it worse, to make more money. More money, 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 money. You want some more money? I'm sure it'll feel good when we're frying. More money.
This issue isn't going away in my lifetime, so
as long as I have breath in my body and energy and time, I will keep standing up for this because it's not going away.
And neither are you.
Neither am I. Neither are all of us. Like, we're not going away.
Are you finding this is happening a lot?
Yeah, everywhere, yeah. I've never actually been caught in it before. I've never actually seen it with my own eyes.
Would you support people trying to protest against climate change, or?
They can do what they want. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not too fussed. But everyone's got a choice, so why not?
What's going on with fucking these souls? He's sold us all. He wants a fucking private army.
It's all a drama. It's middle class and dram. That's all it is. White middle class amateur dramatics.
Do you think it's important for people to commit to something?
I've been following protest movements probably since you were in your nappies, and I've noticed. Oh, what's this? I suddenly noticed you got a stick.
High tech, this kind of.
Very high tech. I didn't notice that to begin with. The tactics are nonsense. They're embarrassing that grown adults behave in this way, and that our police are so soft-touched with it all. Only with this protest movement, no other protest movement.
What is it about this protest?
Good question. Good question. It's either that the seniors in the police force agree, and that's a scary thought, so they police different groups differently according to whether they agree. So that could be one explanation. Another explanation could be this protest group is lawyered up to their eyeballs and the police are scared of them. And again, that's scary because that implies if you've got money, you can stretch the law in directions that if you don't have money, you can't. I think it's probably more the latter, personally. This group is lawyered up. It's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing that our police would be so soft and inconsistent compared with the batons that I compared. There was no violence when I've seen TSG riding on horses as well into crowds.
It's easy enough to point a finger and say, okay, this isn't working. But like, well, what are there any other suggestions? Because they've tried everything else, and this is the thing that's been working for them the most. This is the thing that gets them on these news platforms and lets them like spread a message. It's sad to hear that the general public doesn't even, like, they're getting upset at these police just giving water. That doesn't mean like the police is advocating for them. No, they're in the end ultimately trying to get them off the roads. But they recognise that the people there are, working hard for a cause that they very much believe in. I don't believe it's radical. Like, knowing that there are millions of people dying from climate change and the British public is okay and doing nothing about it, I feel that's more radical. I feel that's more crazier than not taking action.
It's not fucking good enough. This shit is too serious. If we stand there waving placards on the side of the road, it's not gonna make the news. We have to do controversial things.
So the only reason these people are getting arrested today is because they're telling the truth of the true criminals and of the true horror that we face. If we don't take action urgently in the next couple of years, then we're heading towards losing everything we love, our children and everything. So that's why we're doing it. So in the face of that, people, of course, they're going to get arrested. They're going to do whatever they can do. This is the wrathful anger of a parent, fighting for its child. This is what we're actually involved with now.
I'm an NHS doctor. I never thought that I would be putting myself in a position to be arrested. And although I've got a duty of care to the patients that I see day to day, as doctors we also have a duty of care to the wider population, not just in this country but elsewhere. And we've tried so hard. We've tried campaigning through our medical organisations. We've written to every journal. Medical organisations have declared a climate emergency and nothing has changed. This really is the only option we've got left, and we're really running out of time. So nobody wants to be here being arrested, especially if you're potentially putting your profession at risk. But ultimately we've got a duty to be here.
I hope you put this out on your channel because it's not getting out there enough. This should be the frontline news story every day. We can see what blanket coverage is like in the media. They gave us it for COVID, they gave us it for the Queen's funeral. They've not given us it for the greatest challenge humanity's ever faced. This is what we need. We need the media to step up.
Well, the people are here because they really, really care, so they're prepared to get arrested. In some cases, it was their first time, and I know they were really quite nervous. And yes, one of the girls was looking quite distressed. It's not easy. It's not easy. Nobody does this lightly, but it's incredibly important. That's why we're doing it.
Awful obstruction of the highway.